How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is well. My name is Carolyn Hymas, and I am the Associate Director for Alumnus and Family Engagement, and I work on many of our professional development initiatives for the alumnus community. And once again, just thank you everyone for joining us for our talk, Marketing and Promoting Yourself. And thank you so much for Katrina Frye, our guest speaker, for being with us. I have a couple of housekeeping items for everyone. We recommend that you watch in speaker view today because when Katrina shares her slides, it'll be easier for you to view. So if you hover your mouse in the top right corner, you should see the option to choose speaker view. And this talk is also being recorded, so we can share it at a later date with CalArtians who weren't able to attend. So that's all I've got for our housekeeping items. And without further ado, I'll pass it over to Katrina to begin our talk.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really excited to meet you all in the internet sphere of our new life. I just want to acknowledge that I come from Pasadena today. So I am on Pacific Standard Time. It's 1:05 here. And I also try and always acknowledge the Tongva Nation people that I live upon and have graciously tried to honor with my care of the world. So that's where I come from today. I would love if everyone wrote in the chat where they are at in the world, maybe what time code you're in. And I will just be looking at the chat. If my head turns, it's me just looking at the chat and making sure I'm hearing from everyone. But I would love to keep this as interactive as possible. I know that we are getting inundated with information on the internet. So I'm going to make sure that this is custom, and especially with such a tight group like this, I hope to really hear a lot of questions from you. You probably came to this idea of marketing and promoting because it's not a fun idea, or you might have been avoiding it. So we're going to talk about those things, and hopefully you can get more information in the chat too, hearing from other people. I love hearing if everyone else has ideas or feedback or any learnings they want to share too. So again, my name is Katrina Frye. I go by the she, her pronouns. You're welcome to also rename yourself with those pronouns if you'd like, because we will be doing a breakout group towards the end. So I really hope that you can get to know one another as well. So I think we're going to give it a few more minutes, but if you're just coming in, oh, awesome. Someone from Sao Paulo, Milwaukee, Boston. Awesome, awesome, awesome. A few more people in LA with me, Missouri, Van Nuys. Someone's at CalArts right now. Cool. Awesome. So welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to be with you all today. If you're just entering, please let us know where you're at in the chat and stay active on there. I'm going to be sharing my screen here with you now, just so you all, and if you have any technical things, please also throw it in the screen so I know what's going on. But again, we're going to be talking about marketing and promoting yourself, you, the artist, the artwork. That's what we're going to be jumping into. So again, my name is Katrina Frye, and I just want to give you some quick background on me. So I got my bachelor's in visual arts from a really small private college in film 35 millimeter photography, which I thought was so cool and hip at the time. And then I graduated, and of course, the digital camera became wildly successful. And then the cell phone became the most newest, easiest, accessible digital camera. So I really felt locked out of the commerce side of the arts and really frustrated. I felt like I was ill prepared for what I had been jumping into. So I quickly realized that I wanted to go back to school, and I got my master's in arts management because I loved the language between business and art. And so that's really what jumped me into working in nonprofits. Specifically, I have also simultaneously, I've been working in the music industry. So if either one of those three things interest you, please also follow up with me on the internets, on LinkedIn, if you want to talk about getting your graduate degree, nonprofit industry, or the music industry specifically. But I started my company called Mischief Managed almost 5 years ago, really to try and meet artists where I was when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, where you're just frustrated. Like, I have this degree. How do I make money on it? What is all of these new language and terminology. And so I hope today I can do a condensed version. I kind of call this like a speed MBA course, and really get to know all of you. So I did say, can you put your location, but now can you also add in the chat your medium? So what artist practice do you currently do? And or how are you making money right now in the arts? So if you want to throw that in the chat, I would love to see kind of who's in the room. I'll give that a minute. Awesome. Great. Perfect. Ooh, great. A good mix of people in here. Cool. And I'm seeing some multidisciplinary people, interdisciplinary people. Wonderful. Great, great. Cool. So a few of you probably work has picked up in quarantine, and for a few of you, I feel like probably maybe work has died down. So we'll also talk about that. Awesome. Okay, great range of people. So just to put on the forefront, of course, I've given this talk lots of times and it has changed. I will be completely upfront and honest with you. The work, what I was recommending to people, it has changed. Not everything has changed, but the world has changed. So I just want to be really open and transparent with you all that I'm asking you to have a new mindset going into COVID life. We are in a unprecedented time. And of course, I would just want to give space to that and the reality of that. And to go into that space of how we can move forward, I first think it's always important, especially as artists and creatives, to be transparent about where we are now. Right now, everybody is grieving. Transition breeds grief. So we're all grieving something, whether it's convenience, whether it's loss of money, time, space, independence, people. We're all grieving. We all have to figure out how to be open and flexible right now. As a lot of different jobs here I'm seeing, I think we've become multidisciplinary to be open and flexible. So that's part of that. And then realize that the world isn't just online. So I also want to break down that notion that a lot of things I'm going to be talking about today, you might infer that I'm just speaking about social media, and I'm not. I'm actually going to let you know that a lot of things I'm talking about are going to be through different platforms, phone calls, trying to get socially distant coffee dates, all those things too, that the world isn't just online right now. And then no matter what I share with you today, it's really important that you stay true to who you are. I'm going to just be giving out lots of ideas, but nothing is a clear shot. As you know, in the arts, we all translate things differently. And it's really important now more than ever, you really stay true to who you are and really your philosophy and your cornerstones as an artist. Because I believe in authenticity. It comes through, you know those people that market to you and you're like, oh, this is so fake. Like, it just feels gross. So what I really want you to hear from me above all is that this is about being true to yourself and being willing to share parts of yourself maybe that you felt weren't curated enough or put together enough, and really figuring out how to share more of you as an artist in the most authentic way. So I will be using business words. It's true. And I just want to share them with you so that maybe you can feel empowered to use them yourself. So when I use the word company, that simply means artist, right? When I'm using the word product, I'm talking about your artwork. When I'm using the word brand, that means how do people engage or enter into your artwork, into your process? When I use the word customer, that means audience or community. When we're talking about market, that's where commerce happens. So one thing for me when I got into my master's program was I realized a lot of artists felt gross using these two words or trying to live in these two weird universes of business and art. And I think a lot of our professors have probably told us too to not let them come together. Maybe like when you talk about money, then you've lost the sacredness over here. I don't believe that. I believe we have lost a lot of opportunity and money on the table as artists because we're not willing to have these hard conversations and get a little uncomfortable with words we maybe were told not to talk about. So these are words I want you to own. It might not happen today, but just so you know, I'm going to be using them. And if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat or save them towards the end. But I would love to hear from you more on how we can integrate these words in our everyday life as artists. Because I feel like when we're talking about actually leaning into promoting ourselves, it comes in 3 steps. I think a lot of people go straight to social media and they want to say, yeah, like I'm selling something on social media now. This is how everyone does it. And I think what gets lost there is this idea that you actually haven't thought about what you're selling. Because first you have to think about your brand. And then before you even get to the brand, you really need to think backwards about your core values. I don't know about you, but I had to write a lot of artist statements on who I was, why I'm creating what I'm creating. That's your core values. A lot of people and a lot of other majors aren't asked to do this up front. And I really want to encourage you that this is actually might be something natural that comes natural to you as an artist, is to think through why I create, what I'm creating, and then really the brand part is simply finding the visuals. So we're going to talk through this. So when I use brand, what I'm talking about is the tool, right? So we all need some tools in our toolbox. What I'm talking about is branding as a tool to visually, emotionally, and physically represent a company's core values. So there I use the word company. So again, I'm talking about you, the artist, and the artwork. So branding is a tool. It's just a tool to visually, emotionally, and physically represent your core values, what you believe. How are you showing that to people? What are your intentions? How do you want people to walk away from your piece? So I would love for you to write down, if you're going to be on your phone, maybe type into your notes, but really I'm going to be doing a few prompts, and I would really, really ask you to engage with me here and get uncomfortable. And I would love for you to write down 3 attributes you want people to experience with your work. So get specific, think about your most current project, or maybe your last show. For those musicians, maybe it was your last public performance. Maybe it's something you're working on right now. What are 3 attributes you want people to experience with your work? And you don't need to write this in the chat, just I would love for you to make sure you have it down. And I want to go to the next question, which is, how do people currently remember or recall your work? And be honest with yourself. You know, when you're telling your friend, like, thanks for coming to my show, what do they say? Yeah, I loved that solo. Or what do they say when they're trying to recall or remember your work? What are words that they have used? And finally, I want you to ask yourself, what do you think have been your top 3 strengths in your arts practice? Are you prolific? Are you self-motivated? Are you resourceful? Are you super connected? What would you say have been your top 3 strengths in your arts practice? Great. And I just want to leave you with this quote while we're trying to really deep dive into our own work. And it's my kind of mantra for myself right now to get off the couch, right? And it's this idea that no one should be more passionate, more knowledgeable, or more excited about your work than you. And I think if I have to tell myself that enough, I'm like, okay. So what is my work about? If I'm supposed to be the most passionate, the most knowledgeable, the most excited about my work, that means I need to spend some time figuring out, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Who am I doing it for? Where am I headed? So I hope that you are spending some time right now, in the time that you do have, to really reflect and get knowledgeable, get passionate, get excited about your work. So to me, the work naturally builds to almost, your autobiographical self, right? My artist philosophy when I graduated from undergrad was the theory that every work we create is autobiographical. And I feel like we can't help it. We like thumbprint ourselves on everything we do, even if it's a documentary about people in Tanzania, we somehow find ourselves reflected. And that's the human condition, right? So if we're doing that as artists, and that's usually what people are gravitated towards, and that's why they keep finding you and hearing you and want to know more, then really we have to lean into our story. And we really have to be able to share that story. So I love this idea. I didn't know that Her was going to be on SNL this weekend. I think it's very timely. But I love this idea that Her spent time to figure out the acronym, the thought, and had 2 sentences very quickly for us to know so much about her, as an artist. But then also I felt myself connected in that story, right? Whether you are female identifying or not, you understand heartbreak, and you understand trying to translate and not be the stereotypical person in that relationship. So all of a sudden, by getting specific, she got universal, right? And I think that there is a way as artists that we miss this opportunity sometimes when we haven't sat down by ourselves. She has a PR team, she has a label. I understand all that, right? So we have to be that for ourselves. We have to sit down and really suss out, what are the 2 to 3 sentences of why I create and what I do and my artist name, my company name. How can I bring people into this story? And I want to give you some quick tips, tricks, my friends, the essential elements to telling a good story. It has to be clear. And I know we love clever. I mean, come at me with some dark humor, some dry humor. I'm here for it. But when we're sharing a story, especially humans, we're not that complex of people as much as we feel like we've evolved. We're not that fast. We're not that great. So what we hear are things that are clear. We need a clear story. It needs to be direct. So make sure that you're able to talk to a specific person when you're telling a story, even when you're in a room and you feel maybe overwhelmed. Pick one person to tell that story to. And then it has to be human. What part of your artwork have you not been letting be autobiographical or human? What have you not been sharing? What is the pain that usually caused the art to come to be, right? Let it be personal. Let that story be personal. Don't be too vague. I think Her kind of straddled the line a little bit. That I thought that was great, that she was willing to say she had a heartbreak. So she made it a little human, a little personal, and then was able to go a little bit wider, which is the idea of then the hardest part of storytelling for us as artists, which is making it actionable. So one easy way to do that is to say, I just talked to a photographer who told me, I've been doing this crazy FaceTime series through my iPhone. And I just ended up wanting to document people in their element and how they were able to almost like produce their own photos in their own beauty and how they saw themselves during quarantine. And then I just threw it all on Instagram. So right there, it's actionable. I can go and see it. So what are those elements where we might have told a great story, but then we don't let people in to take action and to come on board? So figuring out these 5 elements is really, really, really crucial. And I know that I'm moving fast, and I know that we threw the slides in the chat just so everyone knows. You can circle back around to that. So right now, I'm going to ask you to get that pen and paper back out. Yes, we're going to do it right now. No more excuses. And I would love for you to try and answer each one of these questions as concise and clear as possible. Who are you? A few of you already did that in the chat. I'm an artist. I do voiceover. I do theater. Okay, great. Who are you? What do you create? So trying to add a little more depth, specificity. Why do you create? How do you create? So what's your process? You've heard that question 1,000 times, I'm guessing. What's your process? And I like to go a little deeper and ask, who is it for? Do you just create for yourself? Do you create to be known by others? Do you create to help others? And finally, I think the hardest question for me, what do you hope they feel? So they being the audience, the community, the client, what do you hope they feel? I'm going to give you a few minutes to fill this out. Okay, I'm going to give everyone about 2 more minutes. Let me know in the chat if you need more time, but this is a really hard and necessary exercise. And I see a few people just joining us. I'm just asking everyone to try and fill these 6 questions out about your work as clear and concise as possible. Okay, awesome. So from there, we're starting to get to know our brand. What we just did was a lot of exercises to reveal the guts of our core values, which build up to our brand, which build up to our market, right? To where we get to go to market. And I think I get this question a lot, like what is branding? What is marketing? Is it the same thing? And I just wanted to kind of give a quick definition, which is the fact that branding is who you are and marketing is how you share who you are, right? So those are the 2 differences. If branding is who you are, marketing is how you share that who you are, right? So some people are like, well, yeah, I have a brand, I'm on social media. No, that's actually marketing. You need to know who you are first before you go to a platform to share who you are. And that's really, really important. Branding is the strategy and marketing is the goals, right? That's like the output, the tactile stuff. And so the easiest way I remember it is down here in the blue box. This is my quick fix to try and figure out, wait, what am I working on here now? Am I making sure my brand is timeless versus what I'm doing marketing wise, which is maybe I'm saying my color palette right now for my artists, my painting studio, is blues. So I'm going to change that on my website and on my business card. And great, I'm doing like, this is my blue phase. And that's my marketing to keep in trend, right? To look like I got something going on, something spicing it up. But my brand is the fact that I'm always going to be doing portrait, acrylic painting. So those are the 2 differences, right? I just want to be super clear. So I always love to use this example. I love Judy Chicago. I don't know if anyone has seen the dinner party. I got to see it in the Brooklyn Museum. So beautiful in real life and huge. And of course, my first thought is, how is Judy making money? What? this is huge. Like no one's buying this for their third floor penthouse, right? So what is going on? Like how is Judy making it? Um, because as artists, we need two types of income, right? We need passive income, which is the stuff that just keeps coming. And then we need active income. So I'm seeing Judy might get some placements for active income, but what's really paying her bills? And I got to talk to a rep for Judy through a couple different connections. And I realized, oh my gosh, you are the one who could answer this question for me. I've been dying to know. And the rep told me Judy is making a boatload of wonderful cash off of her merchandise. So I'm a victim. At the end of this show, of course, I buy a magnet and a postcard and all the things, right? And to know that these merchandise options, those coffee table books as artists that feel so old school, you know, um, there's still money to be made in this idea of repackaging what we're offering. And I think Judy Chicago is a great example of someone who continually stays relevant and is really willing to push themselves beyond the simple offering of just saying, I just do this, you know? And I think that's probably because she has a team and a representation around them. But I really felt like in that moment, I judged Judy like, oh my gosh, merch. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is really smart. And I think that there's those moments as artists where your art brain, you know, that trained art brain is telling you like, gross, don't talk about commerce with your art. And then your human side that would like to pay bills and still be an artist is like, this is smart. So what are those ways where Judy's brand has been so settled that you are willing to buy a postcard, right? And then I have it on my fridge because now when people see it, they think maybe I have taste or who knows what's going through my head. But it's all of that idea that cachet that comes with being that closer to a brand. And those are the things we want to offer when we're giving our story. And that's why you want to go all the way to market, right? Because you have been able to figure out how to tell who you are. That goes to people buying into the story. And so I think I just want to use this as like a visualization jumping off point that even your artwork can be part of the brand, right? It doesn't have to be a business card or a logo. I think really thinking through all of the way the public views you and sees you and interacts with your work. So then the truth of the matter is marketing is moving from concept to consumer. That's marketing 101. Again, this is like an MBA crash course. Okay, friends, I'm just giving it to you. Don't get in debt like me. Okay, so marketing is simply the idea of moving from concept to consumer, which as artists, we do this all the time. We move from canvas to a completed work, right? We understand this. We can do this. We can move from concept to consumer, except a lot of us don't know who our consumer is, who's consuming. So I think it's really important to make sure we have a couple different ways to get to know our consumer. And I know that this sounds really basic and maybe juvenile, but I just want to break it down for you because I feel paralyzed a lot of times when I'm talking about marketing personally. This is why I give this talk, is because I'm coaching myself too, you know? So I have to remember, okay, how do people interact with me right now? Website, a newsletter, IRL, which my nephew had to teach me. Thank you, 18-year-old, in real life. So the way I tell my story, that's actually people getting to know my brand all the time. Behind the scenes, whether I'm, I worked at the Armory on a community project, and then, years later, I met the person who installed me, and he ended up helping me install something else. And I realized, oh, I was being a kind human over here with this artwork. Good thing that relationship had years of capital, a long time later. LA, as you all know, is a small, big city, right? So what are the in real life experiences we're giving? Who are we like behind the scenes? Are we joining groups? There's so many artist groups. I love meetup.com. Facebook, if you're into Facebooks, go ahead and get crazy on there. Lots of groups. being a part of CalArts alumni group. Are you meeting up with people in your past group? And make sure, finally, that you're supporting others. There's nothing like cheering people on. I know it's going to be that residual effect where you're like, yes, someone just sold a painting. That means we're all going to sell a painting one day, right? There's has to be that idea that we can cheer each other on. But then also this idea that we can support others because we have to trust that they're going to come out and support us. And that is really the lifeblood of our economy in Los Angeles right now. And finally, I have to say it, social media. I know we've all been hoping to give it the middle finger. It's not going anywhere quite yet. So we do have to jump on board in some way. And so those are just really the quick ways to start thinking about marketing. Okay. So now we're thinking about platforms, we're thinking about methods. Who is that consumer? And I want to put the question to you. So it's easiest if you've actually sold some of your artwork before, or if you have clients, or if you've been hired before for voiceover work or theater work. You kind of know who your client is, right? Who's paying your bills. But maybe you're transitioning. Maybe you want to go into screenwriting. Maybe you want to go into playwriting. Okay, so really thinking through who is purchasing your work, and then answer these 3 questions about them. What is their demographic? So I try and get as detailed as possible. 35-year-old, eats at Whole Foods, kind of shopping human. Who are they? Technographic. How do they exist in technology? Are they a newsletter kind of person? Are they super emaily? Do they use Androids? Are they only on the Twitters? So really thinking through where your client is. For actors, I hope you have a reel on Vimeo and YouTube, right? Do you have a SoundCloud playlist if you're doing voiceovers? Really thinking through the technology aspect and being super accessible and available. And then finally, the psychographics. What are people thinking? It's really important to try and put yourself in their shoes, right? So if I'm making an independent jazz album, what are people thinking that want to listen to jazz right now? Are they just on YouTube trying to have background noise? Okay, so let me go ahead and add my music there. Are they trying to hear it live? Where could I possibly do something like that live? Could I do a living room show? Get creative, and you can get more creative the more willing you are to think through who is consuming, who is your client. And then, specifically, I did want to talk about clients because I know a lot of us as artists are freelancers. And I added this slide in now because of COVID, where a lot of us are transitioning our work. And maybe before we had consumers at a gallery show, for instance, now maybe we are going to look to pivot and more like do, custom work or commissioned work. So now we have clients, right? And I really want to invite you to go fishing, because this has never been a better time to brush up that little LinkedIn, get on there looking cute, go ahead and add all the things. Make sure you connect to all the CalArt alumni people, and make sure you start engaging. I've had 2 photographers I've met through LinkedIn right now that just sent me their portfolio. Guess what? That means in COVID, they updated their website. Oh, like such a great use of time. Go ahead and LinkedIn me right now and send me your portfolio, right? I talked about the Facebook groups. Facebook is a really great way to engage and let people know what you're doing. And then finally, Google people you want to interact with. Who's out there? Who have you wanted to get to know? There's really no excuses why we're not seeking out more clients, new clients. So I try and ask myself these 3 questions. Who do I already know? And if you want to get real type A and crazy like me, you go ahead and make a spreadsheet. Okay, don't mind it. Who do I already know? Who do I want to know? And who can connect me? I will not stress to you enough. Right now, we are being hosted by CalArts alumni, full-time paid staff. You're going to be your biggest cheer team. You should be a face to them, not just a name. You should know them. They should know you. And you should be constantly giving them updates on your work and what you're looking to be doing. Who are those old professors? Who are those peers that you were just like, man, their work is so badass. I would love to connect with them and hear what they're up to. Now, more than ever, it's just really important to ask yourself these 3 questions. Who do I already know? Who do I want to know? Who can connect to me? I just hired 2 illustrators off of Instagram. They just DM'd me and said, hey, I have this really great work, especially right now. Black women are just putting themselves out there. It's incredible time to make sure your portfolio's looking poppin', your website's up to date, your email works, links work, make sure it's looking good, and go ahead and go fishing. So finally, when it comes to marketing, you're going to want to make a plan, because if you're anything like me, you can talk about it. It can all feel good. And then you go to bed because you're exhausted at just the ideas. So for me, I have to make a plan. First of all, it's about making a deadline. So for us right now, we're all friends. We're all friends now. Thank you, internets and Zoom. Go ahead and please start with a deadline of January 1. What do I want to have done? What do I want to share into the universe by January 1? Or what do I want to launch come January 1, right? It's a great deadline right now. It gives you a few months, a little wiggle room. Maybe there's photos that need to be taken. Maybe there's an email you need to start. Okay. And then from there, it's about making your system. For me, I always wanted to know how to make my grandma's jambalaya. I still to this day do not know, because she would go in there and pinch, salt, throw all kinds of ingredients. I never knew, but she knew her system, right? And it could always come out like her. And I think when it comes to marketing and branding, it's really important that we figure out our own system and don't try and do what everyone else is doing. I repeat, do not do what everyone else is doing unless you're looking to become an influencer, which I don't think this was that call. But please leave now, because I don't know any of those answers. If you're just really looking to market and promote yourself, your work, make a system true to yourself. I'm talking about 1 newsletter every quarter, 1 show every quarter, 1 update on your LinkedIn or your socials a week. I am not talking about shooting the moon here and really doing the most. What is authentic to you? I was talking to a friend who does like Reiki and DJing, and she's like super beautiful and eclectic. And I was like, I think you should just try and host your own Zoom things like for free for a couple weeks, just to get out all the tech, glitches and see what you can do. And once a month, she was hosting like live sessions with people just to get in a better frame of mind to start your week. I mean, that's beautiful. That's the access we have as artists. We know how to heal people. We do. We know what needs to be done. We know language. We know how to express ourselves. People, this is why we went to school at CalArts, right? Like, we learned how to express ourselves. We should be sharing that in the most authentic way possible. So figuring out your system, key. Next thing is really going through the idea of what now I want to share. So for me, I found like these 7 types of categories to start to share my work. And again, I know we shared these slides. I think you'll probably get an email with them after. So I know this is a lot of information right now. But these are the categories that I figure out, okay, wait, I'm really bored, or I don't know how to talk to people right now. Okay, wait, let me go back to this. Do I have anything inspirational? No. Great. Let's keep going. Do we have an activation? Yeah. Okay. My website, I updated it. I can let me do a screenshot and tell people, hey, go check out my website. Okay. Do I have an announcement? Yes. This is something very key as artists. Constantly make your own calendar, right? So I figure out what year I graduated school, and okay, great. 10 years out of school. And this is my portfolio, 10 years after school. make up these celebration moments as artists, because no one's going to make them for you, right? Has it been a year since you sold your last piece of art? You know, like, what are these silly things that we can figure out how to talk about and make announcements out of? You know, I know a lot of us probably had things postponed or canceled. So figuring out how to make our own calendar is going to be really big right now. And then that leads directly to the idea of collaborations. I talked to 2 white middle-aged female artists right now who feel like their voice is nowhere needed in the world. And that's really sad to hear, but understandable in our race climate. It feels like you say one thing, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I talked to both of them separately about, this is the time to collaborate and partner then. Find the voices that you want to celebrate that need a platform, need a microphone, even if you have 4 or 5 followers, and figure out how to champion other people right now. It's really a beautiful time to collaborate and partner. So then that gets to the idea of celebrations, right? So who can you celebrate for their wins? What can you celebrate for your wins? Figuring out how to share in your process is a big thing. I know time-lapse videos are like so overdone. They're still a thing, okay? People are going to be forever fascinated on the artist process. So share, you know, be willing to share. What does your studio look like right now? Have you renovated your studio? I would love to see any of those pictures, photos, videos. And then, of course, finished work. Make sure you share your work, friends. Make sure you share your work. And I wanted to share a couple different platforms right now that I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff happen. Number 1, StreamYard. If you haven't checked out StreamYard yet, it is awesome for theater. If any of you are trying to figure out how to do theater right now, Zoom is not that great. StreamYard is awesome. It's really, really cool. There's a green room, there's a waiting room. It feeds directly to YouTube Live. It's really rad. Twitch, a lot of people are making an okay amount of money hosting concerts on Twitch or live shows there. Instagram TV, I think, is still just a really easy way to throw content up. You can always delete. So go ahead and try things out there. Of course, there's YouTube. YouTube is still the #1 streaming platform in the world because a lot of these other apps that I just mentioned don't work around the world, right? YouTube is actually still the only streamable thing that works around the world. You don't have to log in. Nothing has to happen for you to passively interact. And then finally, there is Zoom, right? So explore the possibilities of Zoom. You know, don't hate it yet. You know, we're still here. So I want to go from there to this idea, like, finally, again, about a spreadsheet or just getting organized, right? So like, figure out your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for me right now, I have an alarm that's about to go off at 3 o'clock every Monday. It says, do some shit on social. Okay, so every Monday I have to write down, okay, you know, did I post this week? Do I have some photos? Let me go back in my archives. Do I have something to share? And really getting serious with yourself, holding yourself accountable. Who can that partner be? Who can you work with? Is it yourself? Is it another person? Who can you bring in to really manifest these things, these ideas? So this is what I'm very, very excited to do today. I've yelled at you. I've thrown tons of things at you. And I think it comes down to this. We won't share with people until we feel like we're curated and ready. And this is a bad symptom of our current life. But we all think we have to be really put together before we share and let people in. And I want to dispel that for you today. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually break up into small groups. I'm going to give you 1 minute right now to fill this out. It's a simple pitch, and you're just pitching yourself. Oh my gosh, you can do it. So yes, if anyone, yes. Please fill it out. I know it starts with, hi, my name is. A lot of people forget that. It's sad. We get nervous. We forget our names. So go ahead and throw that in. Hi, my name is. You're welcome to throw your pronouns as well. And I'm a what kind of artist? So we started with those questions, those 6 questions a few slides ago. Who am I? Why do I create? Who do I create for? Throw in all those answers right here. And I'm going to give you 1 more minute just to fill this out. Okay, so friends, I hope you all have something jotted down. I'm going to click stop share here. And we are going to, I'm going to ask, I believe it was Carolyn. Yes, breakout groups have been started. So you're going to go in your breakout group. Make sure you take turns. You're going to have a few minutes to just talk through your pitch, give each other feedback, and really get to know each other. Okay, great, great, great. Wonderful. Welcome back to the larger group. Great to see all of you. Thank you for networking. You did it. Hopefully it was a little less stressful with that prompt. I don't know about you, but I am an introvert, so I enjoy kind of like that structured share. And so I usually before every what I call a typical LA party, you know, where everyone's first question is either how did you park, how did you get there, or what diet you're on. I try and figure out, you know, like my pitch, what's my angle, what's my newest project I'm going to talk about. So that's something I try and really get like that muscle going so I can just really feel more comfortable over the years, you know, it's not going away. And so even now too, I feel like we're a little socially rusty. So I think it's really important too to make sure that you're pushing yourself to meet people, and hopefully this pitch helps you. So I'm going to share a few more things and then I'm going to open it up for questions and feedback, and I'd love to hear from everybody. So here we are. Okay, wonderful. Loading up. Okay, so we pitched, and of course I'm telling you all these things that are easier said than done, right? I'm giving you a lot of information. So I want to kind of give you this grounding for me. I don't know if anyone has read this book. It was game change for me. I think we've all probably read Art and Fear. But this book for me, it's a big chunk, so you don't need to get through all of it. But if you want to find your way in this book, it's called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she basically wrote it after she wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which if you're familiar with, you don't need to read that first. You can if you want. But anyway, she stumbled upon Eat, Pray, Love, right? She didn't know it was going to be a huge, wildly successful book. And then you always have that fear, as all artists do, as every writer does, like, what do I do after this? And so she came out with this book really talking about this idea that we are so paralyzed to move forward, because this quote speaks directly to women, to this idea that we just feel like we need to be perfect before we ever share, before we ever move forward. And I think it moves beyond women now to our time that we are in COVID, where we all feel like, oh, well, I can't share anything. I'm such a mess. I feel so uncreative. Oh, this work, I haven't even touched it. Oh, my website, it's too outdated, right? And I feel like she talks about this idea that magic truly comes to us if you personify it. It used to be personified, and it would come to our homes, and it'd almost be like like that idea of like a voodoo doll or like an elf on your shelf, right? And magic would come to us, and if you were not aware and grounded and willing enough to engage with magic when it came to you, it went next door. And I think we've all felt that feeling as artists, that if I didn't write down this one idea, especially as songwriters or as authors, I know that feeling is, if you don't write it down, it just leaves. And think about it in this idea that if it leaves, it goes to somebody else. You've missed it. And I just don't want that to happen to anybody right now in this period. So I really want to encourage everyone to move beyond the perfectionism, move beyond the critique and the criticism that maybe our years at CalArts or whatever art school you went to kind of built up in us, right? That armor, and move beyond and just make sure you keep creating. And I just want to leave you with these questions. And this is kind of my mantra sharing to you, is this idea of, how do you cheer for yourself? Whose permission have you been waiting for? I will tell you, getting out of art school, I'll never forget that feeling of like wanting to email my professors to see if what I was doing was good, because now you're like, so does anyone want to see this thing I've been working on for about 6 months? Who is cheering how do you cheer yourself on? Who is still in your life, in your circle, that you can get permission from to keep going? Why does their opinion matter? It's a really tough question to ask yourself, but why does their opinion matter? And I would push you a little farther. if you're really looking and seeking those likes or those comments on social, why does that opinion matter for you? You know, and that might not even be coming from a bad place, but it's really important that we check ourselves. Why do those opinions matter? And then finally, for me, the tougher question, which is, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? And I think as artists, when we get to post-COVID life, which I just keep speaking out into the universe, I don't know when or where, but when we get there, I think we're all going to have to look back and testify on how we acted as artists. What do we have to show for it? How did we engage? What did we protest? What did we align with? How did we vote? How did we share in that experience? And I think that it's really going to be based off our intention today, you know, really making the time to be honest and say, what do we want to be known for? And finally, I want to give you this encouragement to try this at home. All right, friends, try to complete one thing a week. So for all those overachievers out there, I said it, one. This is COVID times, not regular times. Get one thing done a week, just one. When it's complete, send it out to someone, friends, family, for feedback. You know, we all got our mom, you know what I'm saying? Send it out to one of those people. Okay, someone's nodding. I'm sorry. We all have someone in our corner that will just love and praise whatever we do. Whoever that is, go ahead and get those chips. You know, it's quarantine time. Send it out to people, share it with people. 3, be willing to watch, get feedback, compliment other people's stuff. So you might be starting to dabble in Twitch or Instagram Live. Guess what, friend? Go to other people's platforms, check in on them, ask your other artist friends, how are you doing? Love your work, love your FaceTime, Zoom photo series. Comment, give feedback, give praise on other people's things. Let people in on your process. So again, I would love to see how artists are rearranging their studio spaces right now. Have you been kicked out of your space? Are you sharing your space with your children? I mean, I want to know all those things so that we can spur each other on to this authenticity and not have to fake it. You know, like, let's stop doing that. This is, if we've been given permission to do anything, it's to be honest, right? And finally, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. These are hard times. These are emotionally taxing times. I started the first slide by saying we're all grieving right now. And some people look good in grief and some people don't. So it's time to be kind to yourself. So I want to open it up now to questions, feedback, comments. I would really, really, really love to hear from anybody, everybody. I'm going to throw my chat box over here. Any takeaways, any frustration pinpoints? I would just love to hear from you all. I think that's kind of the most important thing, to come together and hear from each other. So I'm going to leave it open for questions. If you want to throw it in the chat box, or if you want to unmute yourself, please go ahead and do that.
I have a question.
Yes.
By the way, I'm enjoying this a lot. How did you, or do you decide who your work is for? That seems like a hard one for me.
Yeah, so I kind of had to put it into 2 brains, which is actually why I started Mischief Managed, my company, because I realized this consulting work and my artist management brain was not for everybody. And so my actual physical film photography is really slow. I make usually 1 project a year on it. It's for me. So I really am not looking at the income. Whereas my other work is very much how I pay my bills. So for me, I had to actually compartmentalize, and that was really helpful. And so I do know some artists create like a design studio or a production studio, and you could just name it something. And sometimes that helps you create those barriers or those walls for your brain to say, like, okay, this work is for clients, it's for studios, it's for curators. And then this work is for these people. So for me, compartmentalizing was really, really important.
Thank you.
May I show what I just finished for the week?
Yes, Sarah?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's made of found and recycled objects and trash, because that's what I do. I transform trash into realistic imagery. And because our climate is a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a website, sarahschneiderman.com. I'm on
Oh, please share it in the chat. Yes, yes.
YouTube, Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, all kinds of places.
Sarah, awesome. Could you almost pop it up like that so we could see the 3D? Oh, I think it was delayed a little bit. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Wow, very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'll put my email, my website in the chat.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Tamar, you said that you had a question in the chat. You want to go ahead?
I do, thank you. So I'm having trouble inspiring collaborators to sign on. It's something I've had challenges with. I'm not alone. I don't think it's particularly unique, but so much of my work is grassroots. And so it's about relying upon the kindness of strangers and hoping that they're inspired enough to give me their souls. But this time around, there's a lot of people who make themselves available and then, backpedal.
Yeah.
Everyone has a right to do that.
Yeah.
But I find that not able to be in person is challenging.
Yeah.
So I know you've talked about all of this. I don't know if it's revisiting something in your very strong marketing acrobat. It's really quite wonderful. But I'm better in the room than I am via Zoom.
I hear that. Yeah.
And I know that's true with a lot of people. And I have a project that I have to finish.
Yeah.
And I need help. Okay. And I'm not landing the inspiration.
Yeah. So, and you're not paying people, right? It's a shared experience thing. Okay. So I think for me, I also talked to a playwright who was actually doing a play. It was supposed to go to stage this December. Of course, it was canceled. And the cast was already done, but it was community theater, but could not get the people on Zoom. And so I actually invited them to individually call each person and not do a visual call, but like just on the phone. People are really fatigued right now, which is probably what you're feeling, right? With people checking out, like kind of being overzealous and then checking out. So if there's a way to get on the phone, and I don't know what you need from them, for instance, say that you need an audio, like, is there a way to simply record that on an, if you do a Zoom audio call, you can actually record that. And, I'm wondering what's the bare minimum where you can meet people in our most vulnerable state, right? We're all so lacking in margin that it's hard to share ourselves right now. I heard from one person say sharing myself is too vulnerable right now. So I wonder what's the lead, the smallest level you can meet people right now. I would never say postpone the work, but I wonder, is this you making a trailer, and then it's like later, okay, when I can be in person and I can ask more of people, I can meet them there. Yeah, it might be getting that creative. Yeah. And then if you are able to put any financials around, like if it is just like a gift card or bartering, I really strongly believe right now a lot of people are doing awesome barters. Yeah. So if you do copywriting, I just had a friend that can proofread like so fast. So they're going to proofread for a friend who's offering them a poetry class for $300 value. So trying to figure out how to barter right now is really important too. But I hear you. It's hard to ask things of people right now. Everyone
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
tapped.
I guess maybe the question, if somebody else has a question, I'll cede the floor, but there's a follow-up question there.
Yeah, you can ask really quick. I'm getting two questions privately that I'll share, answers with. But yeah, if you want to share really quick.
Just, I think perchance being able to process this out loud, and thank you everyone for being my therapist right now. I think what the crux of this issue is I really, I need a collaborator. I'm just stuck by myself.
Okay.
And I don't know, and everyone has a right to get inspired and then not follow through. We've all done it. I've done it. Can't talk about we,
Yeah.
I've done it. But it's
Yeah.
like, I am so stuck, and I have reached out from students to strangers to once referred. And I think I'm just bitching right now because either it will happen or it won't. Anyway, thank you for everyone's indulgence. It's
Yeah. And I think collaborators are not to be underestimated, and maybe the project won't come together until there's that second brain in the room, right? So I'm like talking to the universe. I'm sending that person your way. I hope you find it. Don't give up. And I would say never underestimate pitching whatever it is you're doing on socials until you find that person, that's excited, and then meeting them at the lowest barrier of entry. Yeah. And everyone says throw the project in the chat. So if you have any links, please do. I want to get to two other questions here. There's a wave of online performances now that we're kind of doing this streaming thing. Do you think live stream tends to be will be a thing after lockdown, after the pandemic? Yes, I do think live streaming will be a thing after the pandemic, especially because we are going global. It's incredible. I mean, right now someone's in Brazil. I mean, we are going global, and I truly believe in accessibility, and we are there. So I would really, really, really make sure that you don't give up on technology quite yet for the live streaming performances. I know it feels clunky and it's delayed, but I would watch as many performances as you can and figure out what works for you. There's a lot out there, I know, but I would say the online platform and the online way to share is not going anywhere. My husband is a songwriter, and he's been able to write with people around the globe, someone just in Sweden, because the technology has picked up so quickly. With Zoom, you can hardwire and click into someone else's computer now. So there's just a lot of things you can do that you can actually do live. So I would say this is going to be a new reality, some form, a wave of it. The next question was, how do you balance between supporting your contemporaries and comparing? Great question. Great question. I truly believe in this quote. There is enough sunshine for all of us. So take the visual with me. If we were to walk outside right now, a week ago, and the sun is out, we all get a piece of the sun on us, right? There's enough sunshine truly for all of us. And I think if we thought about our arts world like that, there's enough clients, there's enough money. If we actually didn't move into this scarcity mindset that especially nonprofits live in, like there's only $100,000 grant and it's got to go to us because we're the ones really saving children from them. So I don't know what. No one's actually saving lives. Okay, 1%. 1% is actually truly saving lives. But we all fight about this one grant for $100,000 when actually there's more revenues, right? There's more revenues of cash. There's more memberships. There's more people we can share. And so for me, that's how I balance this idea of competition. I think competition makes us stronger, better, wiser. I want to be able to cheer people on and then set boundaries. There's always those frenemies. Do you know what I mean? Like those people that just really bug you the wrong way or that steal your ideas forever because we know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Don't name them on here. Okay. But there's those people who just see your ideas and steal them, and maybe they have a bigger social following and they actually get funded or something. Okay. Don't look at those people. Move on. Don't act like you're going to be a bigger person. You're not. We're here. We only get weirder as we get older. just go ahead and unfollow. And so for me, it was about setting a lot of boundaries for those people that just really aren't giving me more juju, more good energy, more sunshine, you know, and finding those people that are willing to actually show up to my shows and be like, dude, this is awesome. And then I can go show up to their shows. So really making sure you find the right people. Okay, let's see. I'm seeing a question from Allie.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, it's Ali.
Ollie, thank you.
So my question is, it was, you were talking about who do I know and who do I want to get to know?
Yeah.
And as an actor, I have been doing this for a while, so I know a lot of the casting directors and have a good reputation with them. But I feel like they are the gatekeepers and not the decision makers. And I've been getting in front of more decision makers as I build up that kind of capital and good reputation. But I just had an experience where I just finished shooting a feature film. Friday was the last day, and I was the lead. I was number one on the call sheet, and that just doesn't happen for enough for people of color. And I feel like I'm always like the best friend or the quirky goofy sidekick or the whatever, the IT guy or the coder, programmer, or whatever it is. And I feel like I can also play the lead and I can be a leading man. And the way that I got this film was the directors gave their short list of actors that they wanted to the casting director, and the casting director knew me. And she instead of going down the list, I was third on the list, and she just reached out to me directly.
Wow.
And I feel like those opportunities, I want to figure out how to get to know the decision makers, or let them get to know me more. Yes. And I'm not, other than like following them on Twitter and interacting with them on Instagram and stuff, I'm not totally clear on how to do that, especially in a COVID world.
Yeah. I think it is important to get to know their things, but I would go a step back even farther and get to know before you get to directors.
Hello.
If you can go even farther to.
I've signed up for a market.
Oh, okay. I was like, me? Okay. To go back even farther to the writers. So that's actually point A that I think a lot of people forget, but it's actually the screenwriters. Right. And before you're even getting to the director, right, the screenwriter, and at the dream that you want, like you have to think all the way through, like, what's the dream? Is that actually someone writes something for you?
Yeah.
Right. And so that if we play it all the way back, you actually need to get into the writer's room or their subconscious before they're even writing. Right.
Right.
So that's my huge bent is I would look at like the last 10 things that you were either involved in or loved, that are happening right now. Make sure you get to know those writers. Writers are always writing, hopefully, if they're in the room right now. And I will tell you what, they love someone's feedback. So whoever just wrote what you were just a feature and a lead on, I would follow up with them and be like, you wrote this incredibly. What are you working on next? I'd love
the directors wrote it. So that
okay. So there we go.
And I was thinking initially, like, how do I get to know the showrunner or the executive producers? But the writers is a good place to start as well.
And they're really the underdog, like usually, unless it's written and directed by the same person. But the writers are usually the underdog, and they have way more cachet than people think.
Okay.
They really do. They hold way more reins. And then the second part of that is like create what you don't see, right? Yeah. So there's always like the Mindy Kaling experience, right? Or the Issa Rae. That's like, oh, damn. I mean, I don't know if you just saw 40-Year-Old Version on Netflix.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Rada Black. No, I'm gonna get the name wrong. But she wrote, directed, and stars.
Okay.
40-Year-Old Version, and Lena Waithe championed her. And so, but you know that this was a pilot that she had been sitting on. You can tell she had been sitting on this thing for years. And making sure that you write yourself into a lead is
Yeah.
really vital, right? And I don't think that Mindy Kaling example is to be like ran over. Like there's still a lot of weight in making sure that you're putting out some energy in the world that's you as the lead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be my two like strong ideas.
Cool. Thank you.
And congratulations on your part.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Excited when it comes out.
Yeah, I can't wait. Okay. Someone said the book Art and Fear is good at addressing comparison. Yes. Art and Fear is good. You kind of got to be in that heady space to read that book, but yes, it's a great, great, great. How do I get more people to subscribe to my mailing list? Ooh, okay. All right. Great question. First of all, why would they subscribe? So if I'm the customer, again, remember just like thinking through the customer, what's on your email list? What happens? Do I get a discount code to your work? Do I get information that I want to get anywhere else? What do people gather on your email list that they want to be a part of? And then where are you promoting it? Right? And then if someone comes on your list, are you going to go put yourself on their list? So really making sure that you're sharing in that experience and not taking it for granted. And then any show, I always tell this to visual artists, but any gallery, any show that you've been in, any community show, it is your right to ask for the mailing list. You can ask. It does not hurt anything, but ask for an email list and just be strong about it, and then you better have a pop-it email though. Like it better be good. You have some nuggets on there for sure. That's definitely my last question, I think, over here. I want to make sure I know that we're like right on time. But I really appreciate everybody. I would love for you, if you want to throw links in the chat to let people know what you're doing and where you're at. I always strongly believe in bragging and self-promotion in these spaces. And I want to open the floor if there's any other questions, anything else. Okay, I'm seeing some links. And hopefully, again, you can download this PDF. I know it's a lot of information. Really enjoyed getting to know all of you. I feel very honored, since I'm not a CalArtian, to be here in all of your conversations. And I am rooting for you. I am cheering you on. You even just coming on and being willing to hear from other people is really important. And I just would not take that for granted. So I honor you in all your processes. Thank you so much.